Did you know that while sales are on track to be the slowest in all of Newmarket since the year 2000, the average sale price increased by 7% in July 2023 versus 2022. I'm Darcy Toombs, broker and team leader with Toombs Team Real Estate Group at Coldwell Banker, and this is the top 5 things you need to know about what happened in July 2023 in the local real estate market. Inventory is the highest it's been since May 2022, with 177 active listings at the end of July. So to put that into context, over the past 10 years, July is usually average around 239 active listings in a month. However, because inventory has been really low for the last 3 years, if we took the last 3 years out of that count, we actually would have an average active listing count in July around 282 homes. This low inventory count has really been the driver for setting up the bidding war scenarios that we're seeing so often. However, we've seen a large number of these bidding war setups fail to meet the seller's expectations, with the properties later coming back on the market at a significantly higher price after they offered. We are not recommending this tactic to most of our sellers right now, especially given the rise in inventory. Number 2, there was only 72 sales for all housing types in the month of July. Now, of those, 40 were sold either at or above the asking price, largely due to the bidding war tactic mentioned in point number 1. So it should be noted that 40 of the 72 equates to 55% of all sales being either at or above the asking price. It's actually the lowest percentage of all sales being at or above the asking price that we've seen all year. And August is currently trending to be even lower again. Now, for some even more context, 72 sales might sound like a good number. However, when we look at what the average number of sales has been for the month of July over the last 10 years, it's been 143. However, from 2013 to 2019, the average number of sales in a July worked out to be 164 sales. So we're seeing about half of what we would typically see in the month of July for the number of sales. This weak sales volume brings me to number 3. We are on pace to have a record low number of annual sales. With only 640 sales reported for the whole year at the end of July, we are forecasting that if the market remains the same, we're expecting to see only 1,050 sales for the whole year. This would actually be the lowest number of annual sales that we've seen in over 23 years. Now, for some context, because we're doing a lot of context today, the end of July 2021, there was 1,275 annual sales, which is more than double than what we're seeing this year. And the last year that we had extremely low sales was 2018, when the annual sales for the whole year was 1,115. Prices bottomed out in December 2018 at an average price of $691,000. But it should also be noted that at that time, there was over 400 active listings for sale in Newmarket, which is significantly higher than we are today. Number 4, the average sale price was actually 7% higher in July 2023 than it was in July 2022. This is a hard one to understand as to why the average price would be higher until you really start to look at what products have been selling. We are seeing more and more nicely renovated homes or homes in very desirable locations selling for very good money, as where the homes that require renovation or maybe in a little less desirable neighborhood are selling for a little bit less or at a discount. Now, number 5, the months of inventory was sitting at 2.46. Now, as a refresher, months of inventory means how long it would take to sell off all active listings if the number of sales remained constant. 2.46 is actually the second highest MOI we've seen since dating back to the start of the pandemic. And we are not expecting this number to decrease much in the coming months, especially as inventory starts to rise and sales are remaining sluggish. During the last major market shift that happened in 2017, we saw the MOI number go from 0.71 in March to over 5.0 in July. Just 4 months later, and the MOI hovered between 3.8 and 5.0 for over a whole year, slowly decreasing at the end of 2018. And that was during a time of low interest rates. So in closing, sales activity in August has been sluggish so far, and we are actually expecting it to be one of the slowest Augusts we've seen on record. This is largely, of course, due to the rising interest rates and the higher costs of living that us as Canadians are all experiencing. However, we are also going to be very curious to see what, if any, changes come to housing prices in the local area. We are expecting to see active inventory rise in September to over 200, a first in a long time, which should probably put some downward pressure on sales prices. I stress some areas because the 3 rules of real estate, location, 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 will always apply regardless of the market. So desirable locations, streets, and neighborhoods are always going to perform well regardless of market conditions. To conclude, the market is certainly shifting. If you have a mortgage coming up for renewal, or you're considering to downsize or to upsize, relocate to a different part of the country or abroad, you need to have a plan in place to understand what your equity position is so you know how to move forward. My team and I would be happy to meet with you to provide you with a complimentary home equity report and work through some different solutions that'll help you decide what the best path forward is for you and your family. If you have any questions about the information provided in this report, or if you'd like to set up a time to meet with a member of our real estate team to discuss your family's real estate needs, please reach out. It would be a pleasure to work with you. And if you're a homeowner and you'd like to get an idea on how much your home would be worth in today's market, we would love to have a talk and provide you with a complimentary and honest home evaluation to give you a realistic idea on what your home is worth today, so you can get a better handle on how to strategize your next move. Go to toombs.team/value for more information. See you next month.